Okay, good morning. This is a follow-up from the securitization audit video I released a couple of days ago. And there are a few individuals that asked some very good questions. One of the questions being that, Christina, do I absolutely need a securitization audit in order to obtain the information that is necessary to do a successful redemption package? The answer to that question is no. You can do what's called a Respa letter, okay? A Respa letter to your mortgage servicer, and you can request this information from the mortgage servicer. So I have a template in front of you, but I'm just kind of giving you the background of how this template is going to work to obtain the information directly from the mortgage servicer. And so with the RESPA letter, you're sending to the mortgage servicer, you're asking them to identify the name of the trust that is holding your mortgage. You're asking for any assignments to that government sponsored enterprise or government sponsored entity or trust. You're asking them for pooling and service agreements. You're asking them for CUSIP numbers. Okay. So if you can get that information using, not if, you should get the information. And I'm going to tell you exactly like how RESPA how it works, okay? Because some people think that, well, the mortgage company or the mortgage servicer never told me about my mortgage being securitized, and therefore I believe that they have committed fraud against me, or I believe that they're being deceptive, they're not being transparent. And according to RESPA, that's not true. If you've never heard of RESPA, RESPA is a Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act. It is one of the acts that is responsible for governing mortgages. Okay, you can read more about RESPA on your own, but it is one of the top acts that is responsible for governing mortgages. Okay, and so this is called a RESPA letter, as I stated before. And you're going to send this RESPA letter to your mortgage servicer. Now, you may be thinking, and I know a lot of you are angry, just as I was angry, to come into knowing this information. Like, why didn't you disclose this to me? Why didn't you tell this to me? According to RESPA, and even when you read some of these other acts, they are similar in nature, like the Truth in Lending Act. It's not considered deceptive if you did not know about it. Okay, so the act, if you read it, and the language is tricky. Okay, if you read the act, it says that, hey, this is not considered um, deceptive. It's not considered fraudulent that the real estate, not the real estate, that the mortgage company did not tell you that your mortgage was securitized, okay? Because you're not a party to the securitization process. And that's how not only do not only do the courts share that sentiment that borrowers are not a party to the pooling and servicing agreement. Okay, so it doesn't matter whether or not you knew about securitization. It does not change the fact that you borrowed funds and that you are still obligated to repay the loan. Okay, so under RESPA, it is not considered deceptive until you have knowledge that your mortgage was assigned to a government sponsored trust. It's not considered deceptive if you had no knowledge of it. However, it is considered deceptive if you ask directly, if you ask the servicer directly, okay, and they lie. Now you have a RESPA violation, but you don't have a RESPA violation until you ask the questions. Okay, so if you never ask the questions, it is not a RESPA violation until you ask. Okay, so don't waste your time trying to pursue that. They never told me my loan was securitized. They never told me that. Don't waste your time on that. That's minuscule compared to the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is that you're going after redemption. Okay, that is the bigger picture here. So don't get like trapped in anger. I tell you guys sometimes, like, I have a temper, so I know how like anger can it can take over you. It could also blind you, you know? So like don't be so angry. Yes, they I believe that if you omit information, okay, it is my belief if you omit, and omit, the definition of omit is that you leave it out. So if you omit certain information from me, that is the same as lying. Because why would you keep that information from me specifically? Okay. Now, just because I believe that, the RESPA Act does not share my sentiments, and that's something that I want you guys to know. So it's not considered deceptive if you did not know about it. It's deceptive once you ask them the question and then they either they're non-responsive. And what non-responsive means is that, like, if I ask you a direct question and then you go off talking about something totally unrelated, that is considered non-responsive. So you're talking, like your lips are moving, but you're not answering my question. Okay, that is a form of deception. Okay, so if you send your RESPA letter and they're not answering your question, that is a RESPA violation, and you can reach out to the Attorney General's office with evidence. You now have evidence that they violated RESPA, and they violated other state no lying laws. Okay, these are no lying laws. Think of RESPA as a hey, you can't lie, no lying laws. That's what I call them. Okay, to help me understand, like, what's the point of these acts and how are they supposed to work and function. Okay, so just think of them, Deceptive Trade Practices Act, just think of them as that these are no lying laws. You can't lie, okay, if I ask you a question directly. So in front of you is a RESPA template, and you're going to send this RESPA. It's a request for information to your mortgage servicer. Okay, and just like I stated, it asks for the information that you need to do redemption. You need CUSIP number. You need the name of the trust that's holding your mortgage. You need the group number. If and those securitization audits I've seen, they've all had group numbers. So you want to ask for that group number. You're asking the mortgage servicer to provide you with all of this information because that information is what you will need to do the redemption. Okay, now you have to be careful, and let me teach you guys like how the mortgage servicer can be tricky. Okay, now if you send a RESPA letter to the mortgage servicer and the servicer says that, oh, well, we don't securitize mortgages, that was a true statement. Okay, what they just said to you was a true statement that, hey, we don't securitize mortgages. In reality, what they're saying is that, hey, we do not securitize it. We have either a third party that works with them that does it. Okay, and remember, it's not a RESPA violation unless you ask directly. So technically, even though deceptive, what they are saying is true, that, hey, well, we're just a mortgage servicer, so our company does not we don't securitize, but they have someone who does. It may not be the mortgage servicer directly, but a third party, or you're affiliated with a third party who does these securitizations. So you would have to catch that where they're saying that, hey, we don't securitize. Okay, well, who's the third party that you cooperate with or that you work with that does securitize these mortgages? Now you've asked the question directly. You understand? And if they lie, oh, we don't know. I don't know the name of the. This is an obvious lie. It's an obvious lie because you're servicing even though the mortgage is inside of a government sponsored trust, you're servicing it. So you absolutely know who the third party is that you work with that securitizes these loans into these government sponsored entities. That's a lie. So you sort of have to start to work on training yourself at listening and then assessing the information. Okay, you may be telling me the truth that you personally did not securitize, or you personally don't handle the documents or the paperwork to securitize my mortgage into this trust, but you know who securitized it. Okay, you work with them. Give me the name of the third party that you're working with that processes securitizations on behalf of borrowers or on behalf of your company. Okay, so that is the correct question. That is the correct follow-up question, and you'll start to get better at catching these people, okay, when they respond to you in letters and they say things like that. Okay, and then your mind will start to work, and you'll catch it like, okay, well, yeah, you don't securitize it, but you're the servicer, and you're servicing, you take my payments to that government sponsored trust. So while it may be true that you did not securitize it by doing the paperwork and pooling and the servicing agreements, you know the third party that did, and I'm asking you to give it to me. And if you lie, I'm going to hold you responsible under RESPA. Okay, so the letter says, pursuant to the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, 12 CFR 1024.36 is the specific act that we're using to state that, hey, we have a right to ask for this information under this RESPA Act. I am formally requesting specific information regarding the securitization of my mortgage loan. Okay, you're going to enter your loan number. You're going to enter your MERS MIN number. Okay, on this very, you see how at the bottom it says one of four? On one of the uh, at the end, I give you guys tips on how, if you don't know, it's totally okay if you don't know, but I tell you how you can locate your loan number and your MERS MIN number. It should be on the face of your deed of trust, okay? But I give you tips at the end of this letter on how to find that information. If you're just new to this, you really don't know, I don't know where to look, don't worry, I got you covered. Okay, so to ensure accurate record keeping and transparency, please provide the following information within 30 business days. Okay. Number one, confirmation of securitization. Please confirm whether my mortgage loan has been securitized. If it has, provide the full details regarding its placement within a securitized trust. Okay. Number two, trust identification. Provide the CUSIP number assigned to my mortgage loan and the name of the government sponsored trust holding my loan. Include any group numbers or identifiers associated with the trust. Okay. Number three, assignment records. Provide the date the deed of trust was assigned to the trust, along with a copy of the assignment recorded with the appropriate county authority. If you guys remember from my securitization audit, the mortgage company, they never recorded an assignment to a Jenny Mae Remick trust. So I had no idea that the mortgage company, you're not even holding the mortgage note. You're not. You're not holding it. Jenny Mae is holding my note. So if you're one of those individuals that have, like me, they threaten me with, oh, we're going to foreclose, we're coming to take your house, we're okay, come take it from me then. But if you're one of those individuals that they're threatening with foreclosure, and I know 70 to 80% from my own research, and I urge you guys as well to go and prove me wrong. Go prove me wrong. You can go and research this yourself and find out approximately how many FHA, VA, how many of these mortgages are securitized into government sponsored entities. And I give you the backstory in the securitization audit video. If you guys would like to go back and listen to that video, I suggest you listen to it a couple of times. If you want to go back and listen to that video where I kind of give you a background of how mortgages, like why have mortgages been set up the way that they have because of the crisis that happened back in 2008. So I kind of give you a little bit of a crash course on that so you can better understand why the government has to babysit these mortgage servicers, because they've been dishonest And in my own situation, I found dishonesty. How can you foreclose? It would have to be Jenny Mae. Jenny Mae would have to be the creditor. Jenny Mae would foreclose against me, and Jenny Mae's not, they know Jenny Mae's not going to foreclose against me because I'm a taxpayer. I'm the reason your program exists to begin with. All borrowers are the taxpayers, and we've all pooled our money together to create these government programs. So how are you going to foreclose against me, the very person? I'm one of the reasons you even exist. Can Jenny Mae foreclose? Sure, they can, but it looks bad. And usually they don't foreclose. I'm not saying that a Jenny Mae, like a trust, I don't know that to be true, so I can't declare that definitively that Jenny Mae has never been a creditor to a borrower in foreclosing on their loan. I don't know. I have not researched that to say, but what I am saying is that this would look bad if they did. Okay, which is why you rarely see Jenny Mae for. You see Wells Fargo, you see Planet Home Lending, you see the servicers doing the foreclosing, but you don't see, like in my case, Jenny Mae, who is the true credit. If you assigned or sold my mortgage, that means you're not holding it. You have no rights to do what you're doing, except if Jenny Mae, they would have to give you proof of this. You would have to supply me with proof because the mortgage, like for me, Planet Home Lending is a servicer of my mortgage. So they would have to show me documentation that Jenny Mae requested that Planet Home Lending foreclose against me. And I doubt that that information exists because you didn't even record the assignment on the county record as you were supposed to by law. And that way I would have known who was holding the mortgage, and you wouldn't have been able to play these reindeer games with me had I known this. Okay. Number four, investor information. Identify the current investor or beneficial owner of the loan. Number five, pooling and servicing agreements. If applicable, provide documentation regarding the pooling and servicing agreement governing my mortgage. Number six is loan history. Provide a complete history of the loan, including all transfers, assignments, and servicing records from its origination to present. Number seven, payoff information. Provide the current payoff amount for my loan, including any associated fees or penalties. Okay, when you send this, this is like an Achilles heel to them because you're not supposed to know this. They're banking on the fact that you have no idea that they have done all of this, that you have no idea that the government is really holding your mortgage. Okay, they're banking on ignorance. Ignorance, remember, I think in like past videos I've said that to you guys, that they profit from our ignorance. Okay, they profit from it. They profit because we get scared or we make mistakes. Okay, and they profit from our ignorance. So you're not even supposed to know about this. Okay, please send the requested information to the address above via email, and you're going to enter your email here. If any, let me make this larger because this looks so small. I wonder if y'all can see. Let me try to make it a little bit bigger because I'm even struggling. I don't know why I can be slow sometimes, y'all. I'm sitting here struggling to, and my vision is not the best. Okay, I hope that's bigger so you can see. But I'm also going to show you where you can go and start downloading a free template, this free template. And if you don't have a securitization audit, get this out the door immediately. Fax, mail, certified, get it out the door so that you can start working on getting that information from the mortgage company, and then you can come over and talk to me and we can talk about redemption. Okay, please send the requested information. Okay, so if any of the requested information is unavailable or exempt under RESPA, kindly provide a written explanation detailing the reason for non-disclosure. Okay, failure to provide a timely, accurate response may constitute a violation of RESPA and other applicable regulations, which could warrant complaints to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, state regulatory agencies, or legal review. Thank you for your prompt attention in this matter, and I look forward to your response. Okay. This letter ensures the servicer provides all relevant details regarding the securitization of your mortgage. Be sure to send a certified mail with a return receipt and keep a copy for your records. Okay. Now, here I give you a translation. Okay, I translate, well, what does this letter mean? And before I told you guys, get out of the thinking that I'm not smart, I don't understand many things, I'm stupid, I'm slow. Okay, you have to get out of that frame of thinking because it would drag you to hell. It will. Okay, so with um with this this next template, what it is doing is it is translating the letter that I just read to you. It is translating the Respa letter, okay? And I'm going to read it, and it has kid-like language, so don't be offended, okay? I have to do this sometimes for myself. Okay, so don't be offended. Almost like I'm hooked on phonics. Some of y'all are my age and you remember hooked on phonics. From the 90s, okay? So don't get offended. I don't mean to offend you, but I'm just trying to make it basic enough and dice it so it's small enough to where you don't feel so overwhelmed, or you don't feel like everyone around you is just so much smarter, okay? And the more confidence you have, the more equal you feel to people, okay? I want you guys to feel like my equal, not subordinate to me, okay? You want to feel like you're an equal to anybody you come into contact with. That, hey, baby, I'm just as good. I'm just as smart. I'm just as bright. Okay. It might take me a second, but I'll catch on. We're all different ages. And I notice like the older I get, sometimes like my brain is starting. I'm almost 40, so it's starting to like glitch, and I need a moment to like warm up. Okay. Okay. Just a little humor for you guys. But it says, hi, I have a home loan and I want to know some important things about it. Can you please tell me if my loan was put into a big trust with other loans? If it was, I need to know. Number one, is my loan part of a trust? If yes, what's the name of it? Number two, does my loan have a special number? It's called a CUSIP number. Number three, when did my loan get put into the trust? Number four, who owns the loan rights now? Or does it? Who owns my loan right now? Okay, I read it wrong. So number four is who owns my loan right now. I told y'all my brain, it glitches sometimes. Number five, are there any rules or agreements about my loan? Number six, can you send me my loan history? Like who had it before and what happened to it? Number seven, how much do I need to pay if I want to pay it off right now? All right, so please send this information to my address or email within 30 days. If you can't give me some of this information, please explain why not. If you don't answer, I might have to ask other people who make sure companies follow the rules to help me get this information. That is what your letter says. This is a translated version of your letter. Okay? You can honestly send this translated version to the mortgage company just so they just so they don't act stupid. Okay, you absolutely can send this translated language if you want. Okay, it's optional because it still gets the point across of like what you're asking for. Okay, and you ask them plainly so they can't say, oh, we were confused in the request and we didn't understand what she was asking. You understand, you know exactly what I'm asking for. Okay, and just as I told you guys, at the end of the template, okay, where to find your MERS or your MIN or your loan number. Customers can find their MERS MIN number, which is a mortgage electronic registration system or mortgage identification number, and loan number using the following methods. One, look at your mortgage statement. The loan number is typically listed on monthly mortgage statements from the servicer. Number two, look at your closing documents from when you closed on your mortgage. The MERS MIN may be found on the deed of trust or mortgage documents received at closing. Okay. You can also visit the MERS website lookup. Borrowers can check the status of their loan using MERS official website. and select servicer identification system and enter the relevant loan details. Number 4, which is the option that we're using, we're just going to contact the servicer, like make you do it. That's your job. You service, you serve. And so contact the mortgage servicer. Customers can call their loan servicer and request their loan number and MERS MIN number directly. Number 5, credit report, which is I've never seen that on a credit report. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but this was one of the options when I looked up. When I did some research, it said that no, it's not uncommon that some individuals can find their loan details on their credit file. Is not on mine. Okay. If you want a copy of this RESPA letter, um, let me show you how to get a copy. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. If you want a copy, it's a free copy. If you want a copy, you guys know my website. Here is, I can't make it. Let's see how I make it bigger. Okay. I want to be sure you can see it, but I don't want to make it so big to where it's like distorted. Okay, so my Gumroad is kwestate.gumroad.com if you guys did not know. Um, right here this is a service, you guys. It's not a book. It's not the book. It's a service, and I'm just doing like a rough draft right now. So I'm doing a rough draft. I'm typing it up. I'm getting explainer videos created so it explains the process to you plainly. So this is just a rough draft, okay, of how the service. Some individuals, they don't want to do it themselves. They want to, pay someone to do it for them. And so I offer the service for those individuals who they don't want to be bothered. Christina, you go do it for me, which is totally okay. Now, if you come here, if you click, okay, come here, scroll down, and I talk about number 2, obtain a securitization audit to determine the CUSIP number and the name of the trust holding their mortgage. Download free RESPA template here. If you click this, it'll take you to this page. You're going to click download, and it's going to download and give you a copy. It's not going to ask you for any payment or anything of the nature. I give you synopsis. I explain to you plainly what the purpose of the RESPA letter, the purpose, the function of the RESPA letter. So you can read this if you're interested. But otherwise, go ahead and hit download, and you're able to download your RESPA letter and get that into the mail. And you get that CUSIP, the name of the government sponsored trust that's holding your mortgage. You get all that information, and once you have that information, now you can come and you can either purchase the book if you're interested in it. So you can purchase the book if you're interested, or if you don't want to do it yourself, you want me to do it for you, that's totally okay. Just book the service and I'll collect the information from you, and then I will process your redemption packet for you on your behalf. Okay. um so that's it. That's the RESPA letter. So in lieu of a securitization audit, you have the option of sending a RESPA letter to get the information. Now, if you're dealing with a dishonest company like I am with Planet Home Lending, okay, if you're dealing with a dishonest company, okay, securitization is your only option. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, because they know that it will take some time for you to enforce against them. They know that. Okay, they know that it'll take time for you to enforce against them. um and so some of them, they feel like, okay, it's worth it for right now. I mean, yeah, we may have to worry about her later, but they have a team of liars that they call lawyers. They have a team of liars, and those liars will bend and distort, and they'll do and say whatever they have to say, to make it appear as if you're the mistaken one, as if you're confused. You're the liar and not them. So if you send this RESPA letter and they either withhold the information from you or they're non-responsive, unfortunately, the only other alternative you have to get this information is a securitization audit. You don't have a choice, okay? What I That glitch just happened again. Did y'all hear it? It happened. Okay, so another thing is forbearance. Okay, some of you guys, and this process I've stated before, you don't have to be in default. I had to go and ask that question directly. You do not have to be in default in order to qualify for redemption services. Okay, you do not have to be in default. If you have a mortgage, you can do the redemption process. Okay, like I stated before in the securitization audit video, there are individuals that have paid off their mortgage and they're like, well, I want to redeem. If I can redeem it and get that, get that money back, perfect for me. The issue with that is your mortgage has to still be active inside of that government sponsored trust. It has to be active. It's if it's inactive because the servicer pulled it, I'm saying pulled like they took it out of the trust, okay? So if your loan is inactive because the servicer took your mortgage out of the trust, redemption is not possible. Your mortgage has to be in the trust for redemption to be possible, okay, for redemption to be processed. So if you've paid off your mortgage, you have to check first, and you can do a FOIA, and I'll do a video showing you guys how to do a FOIA request and how to ask if your mortgage is still active in this trust. Okay, if it is, you qualify for redemption. If it is not, you do not qualify for redemption. Okay, if you were foreclosed on, okay, if they foreclose, this is what's supposed to happen. If the servicer forecloses on you, they are supposed to pull, I'm saying pull, Pull. I'm going to use the word remove because I know I have a bit of an accent. The servicer is supposed to remove your mortgage when they foreclose. They have to remove it from the government sponsored trust. Guess what? Many of them do not. They don't remove the loan from the trust. And the reason that they don't remove it is because they want to continue making those servicing fees. For the same reason you did not know that your deed was assigned to that government sponsored trust is the same reason that they do not remove your mortgage from the government sponsored trust when they foreclose. They are supposed to, but some of them do not. They leave your mortgage active, and that's good for you. That is great for you if they do that, okay? So if they leave your mortgage inside of the mortgage government sponsored trust, if they leave it in there after they have foreclosed on you, you can still redeem the mortgage. If they have removed your mortgage after they foreclosed on you, you cannot do redemption. I'm sorry, you can't. It's too late. I'm going to do a follow-up video where I show you guys how to do what's called a forbearance letter. And with the forbearance letter, you're going to ask the mortgage company to give you some grace, okay? You fucking freaking scoundrels, I'm going to settle with you, okay? You guys know I cannot stand these people. I can't stand them. I'm going to settle with you, okay? However, you're going to give me a 6-month grace period. And I'm also going to share with you guys like where I got this 6 months from. It's right in a response I got from the Treasury where they kind of gave me these different time frames, and I'm like, okay, this time frame applies to most individuals, and it's about 6 months. Okay, I need a 6-month forbearance. It does not matter if you're in foreclosure. It does not matter if you're current, okay? Let's say you want to take advantage of forbearance, and for that 6 months you can save up those mortgage payments. Like, that's money. Remember I told you guys when I came here, I'm trying to put money in your pocket. I want money in your pocket. The money is leaving all of our pockets, okay, and going into the pockets of people that who don't deserve it. Okay, so I'm trying to get money in your pocket, okay? And so with the forbearance letter, if you can save those mortgage payments for 6 months and then redeem it, that's a win-win. And you didn't even have to dig in your pocket to pay off this mortgage. Okay, so don't go the way that I did. I'm rebellious, y'all. Okay, I will fight you. That's just me. But you don't have to take the route that I took. I took the hard way, and I learned a lot from taking. I'm glad I did it this way because I would have never known, or I would have never found out what I know now had I not, if I'd have gone a different way. I think I would have gotten a different outcome. So it's good that I did it the way that I did it. But for the rest of you guys, I've already gone through the fight, okay? Been threatened. I've gone through the fight, so you don't have to do that. You do the redemption, you get the proceeds from the redemption, you go to the table and you settle with these people. Now, keep in mind that these people still violated you, like they kept from you certain information. And the more violations you find, you use those violations to lower the settlement amount. So if you owed $100,000 and you kept finding violations, okay? I didn't found like 10 violations on you. I'm not giving you $100,000. You're not getting the full $100,000. I'll settle with you for 75, and they'll take that 75 because if you don't take this 100, okay, I'll pay the 100, and then I'm gonna go to court and I'm going to sue you, and they know that, and you'll get treble damages. I'm saying treble, treble, 3 times the amount. Okay, so if they got 100,000 out of you, and you go in there and you can show, like, listen, they violated not only me but the federal government. Okay, they defrauded the government by doing this. So, like, for example, how I explained to you guys, if they foreclose on you, foreclosure has happened, and your mortgage is still active in that government sponsored trust, they're defrauding the government, because what they're doing is getting the government to pay them servicing fees for a mortgage that they foreclosed on. So not only did you get the house, but you're also still over here collecting mortgage payment, not mortgage, servicing fees from the federal government, which is considered double dipping. And if you go look it up, it constitutes fraud. You're defrauding the federal government. That is wire fraud. That is mail fraud. That is racketeering, kickbacks. Go read I forget the code, y'all. Don't get me. I'm gonna get it. I think I've released that code already where they talk about these penalties, okay, for servicing fraud. And so you're claiming to be servicing a mortgage that you foreclosed on. This is why you don't know that your mortgage is in a government sponsored trust, that they didn't have the standing to foreclose anyway because they're not the creditor. The trust is. The trust that's holding your mortgage is the creditor. Okay, so I have 2 additional videos I'm going to follow up with. Not today. I want you guys to work on your Respa letters right now because you're going to need that information if you guys decide to participate either in my service, or if you decide to buy the book to do the redemption. You're going to need that information, and I'm releasing it before I start to um, accept clients for the mortgage preparation service. I'm releasing this before so I can give you guys a head start to go get this stuff. And that way, when the service opens, okay, you already have it, and then you're ready. Like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to, either you want the service or I want to do it myself, and you purchase the book. Okay. Um, I have a I'm sorry, I just glitched again, y'all. I'm sorry. I just had a glitch. I'm going to do, if you guys see me going live a couple of times, it's just me testing out going live on YouTube. And I want to do like I don't know a better way to refer to it, but I want to do like listening parties. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to take Patrick's videos, okay? And I'm going to play the video, and throughout the video, we're going to pause and we're going to talk about certain statements or phrases or certain advice that Patrick gives, and I want to engage you to just kind of figure out like how are you translating what he's saying? How do you interpret what he's saying? And the purpose of doing these lives is to help you guys go on your own to where you don't have to jump from this channel to that channel to that channel, and you start to build the skills you need to be able to translate what Patrick is saying all on your own. Okay, and so you don't need all this emotional support groups, and you don't need to buy this and buy that and go here and go there, and that you'll start to, and I'll tell you like how I hear it. This is how I understand him, and then you guys tell me what you hear, and then we just kind of dialogue back and forth. And so I want to do these listening parties on YouTube. I thought it was a great idea. It was a great way because a lot of the information that I am giving to you, I know people say that, oh, she got this from Patrick. Yes, but go through Patrick's file, you won't find it. You won't find it organized like I've organized it. Okay, so absolutely, Patrick is a juggernaut. Like, he's a wealth of knowledge. And yes, a lot of my processes I got from Patrick. I've stated that from the beginning. I've never lied about that. But you do not have it packaged in this manner and given to you in a way that you can understand. So I kind of resent that. Some people say, well, she just took it, from Patrick. That's not totally true. I had to do some of my own legwork and some of my own research to kind of build upon some of Patrick's his principles, some of the things that he was teaching. So no, I didn't just steal his things. Like, you can't go through his files and find a borrow from yourself, or you can't find instructions on how to fill out how to get your how to fill out a 1099 OID, how to put this stuff together and send it off to the Treasury so that you can they will process a return on your behalf. Title acquisition. I got ideas from Patrick, but Patrick doesn't have anything to show you how you can remove like voluntary liens from your property. Okay, but he does talk about like state statutes that you were supposed to have gotten that MSO, that a lot of fraud had taken place in your auto loans and in your mortgages. And when you understand that, you have enough leverage, okay, to keep these auto loan companies at bay if you decide to go the way of the title acquisition like what I did. And when I took the liens off, I was getting threatened with lawsuits. So we're going to sue you. Okay, well, sue me. So now I get discovery. So now I can really find out what you've been doing behind the scenes. And they wouldn't sue me. They wouldn't sue me. You can't find Capital One on my credit. You can't, nothing. They've gotten out of Dodge. And I got my vehicle and I've got my title and I've transferred it to a different entity. And they left me alone. Okay, so I want to do those listening parties. If you see me going live a couple of times, I'm trying to test it and figure out like how it works. I think if you guys seen like platforms like X, I think X has a better platform because it allows a large number of people to join into like a it's like a chat where everyone, but instead of with YouTube, you can only like type responses. And with X, people can like unmute themselves and they can talk, they can speak. And so I sort of felt like I think that would be a better platform. So I'm testing to see which will work best. I think it's time for YouTube to upgrade, but I don't know if YouTube, I'm not tech savvy. So I won't know until I play with the live and I test it out to see how it works so that I can figure out if this is the platform I want to use um, in order to host listening parties where we listen to Patrick, and like, you guys tell me what you hear. What What do you think he's saying? Okay, so you can just start to develop your own processes. You can develop your own, you can think for yourself and not have to rely so much on another person to like tell you what to think. You can kind of like come to your own conclusion, and that's all about like, trusting yourself and trusting your own discernment, trusting your own ability to like think for yourself. Okay, I kind of want to work with you guys on in those areas because it's important, especially if y'all are going to go off on your own and be private individual bankers like Patrick wanted for all of us. Like he wanted to build a team, a group, okay, of people. Of individuals who understood their rights, who knows the Constitution, who can read and decipher through all this legalese language. And legalese is nothing more than a language where they use words that have multiple meanings. Okay, that's why he always talks about the snake. He say the lawyers they have a forked tongue, and that's what having a forked tongue means. That when you speak, you use words that have multiple meanings, so that the person that you're speaking to, they would be confused on which meaning. How do you mean? Like if you hear the word free, and someone says, "Hey, Christina is free." Oh, is she? Oh, well, she'll be a great slave. Oh, no, I didn't mean free like that. I mean free like she can do what she wants, but that's not how they hear free. So some words you have to be careful with. That's why, like, the founders, they say they don't use the word free, they say liberty. You know what I mean? So that's it. I'm going to do a follow up, as I stated before, with the forbearance letter where you guys, even if you have not started the process, the redemption process, I'm trying to get the program up as quickly as I can, but I don't want to move so fast that I forget essential information or send because it's a lot. It's a lot of information. I have to go through it repeatedly to be sure that I have everything. So I don't want to move so fast to where I'm missing essential steps. Okay, just in order to hurry up and get it out here and start to process these redemptions. I don't want to do that. I want to be thorough. So that's what's happening. The book is it's being printed. So it should be shipped to me. It doesn't take long, like a couple of days. So if you guys give me like another week, I think that's more than enough time um, to be ready to launch. And with those forbearance letters, y'all get those forbearance letters out to your mortgage servicers and ask them for some grace because some things that can get them in trouble. Okay, so it's in their best interest to grant you the forbearance. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. As always, it's good talking to you. Bye.